Okay, folks, happy Wednesday. This is Jean here from Authentic Energy, coming to you live from Vancouver. So, I'm here every Wednesday doing the live stream at 9 a.m. Pacific Standard Time. And Saturday, you will see a recorded video drop. Okay, so I am very excited to have this conversation with you guys to share with you what I eat during postpartum. Okay, and I know this is actually a kind of like a very information loaded topic and also an information loaded video for today. But before we get into it, let me know where is everybody tuning in from. Okay, drop it in the comment. You can ask me anything while the video is going, while I'm here. Like I'm live. Like seriously, I'm live here. Oh, we got Avani. Avani, hello. Where are you tuning in from? Okay. Right. I know this is the question a lot of you have been dying to ask me. Like, what do you recommend for postpartum? What do you eat, as a postpartum mom, new mom? Right. So every day I've been bombarded with these questions. So I thought, you know what? Let me make an episode where you can ask me, like Avani, just ask me a question here. Is a fresh good during pregnancy? Right, I'll answer that in a second. So drop your pregnancy or postpartum questions in the chat box, in a comment, and I'm happy to go through them with my best ability. But I am not like a prenatal healthcare provider, so I can only try my best to give you the answer based on my own experience as a wellness coach and also as a certified nutrition coach, right? But the best thing is if you are not sure about anything, you should actually see your doctor first, consult your prenatal care provider or your physician first before you go ahead. Right. I can give you my recommendation, but that's based on my experience. At the end of the day, I tell everyone, like if there's anything you're not sure about, especially if there's any kind of like, I don't know, if you have some kind of complication or some kind of special health condition, it's best to actually, consult your physician. So if you hear little giggles in the background, that is my son. He's 8 months old now. So you know that I am 8 months postpartum. Okay, so I'm gonna run this video like how I'm having a conversation with my friends because I've had this conversation with many, many girlfriends. A lot of them have asked me, like, can you tell me how did you eat during postpartum? So I'm going to divide into two parts. The first part is I'm going to give you an overview, and some of the things I'm going to be sharing will be applicable for a lot of you, right? But of course, I'm presenting the information, sharing my experience. It is also for you to make an informed decision for yourself, right? What actions you want to take. And I'm not here to tell you guys that you have to do what I do or you have to do what I recommend my clients to do. Yeah, so the first part will be an overview to give you guys some, like a bird's eye view. And then the second part, I'm going to be sharing with you um, the my postpartum care in terms of my nutrition based on traditional Chinese medicine, like wellness therapy, which was basically, how should I say it, it was basically putting charge of my mom because my mom was here for a couple months during my first postpartum period. So she was amazing. I'm so grateful to have her. And she was diligently following the TCM, the traditional Chinese medicine way of taking care of a postpartum mom with the Chinese nutrition therapy. And I'm going to share with you guys in the second part of the video. There's a lot of information in that. So I basically drafted up a little chart on my whiteboard just to give everyone an overview. And of course, I know some of you might be interested to know more about it. You can ask me for the table. I've actually organized all the information into a table that I'm happy to share to you guys. So if you guys want that table, mind you, this table is purely based on TCM, right? The Chinese postpartum nutrition therapy. So if you're someone who's not into like the Eastern nutrition therapy, you don't want that, that's fine. Then it's not for you, right? But I'm simply wanting to share with you because that's what I did. Okay. Right. So just to quickly answer Avani's questions, is a fresh good? So my understanding is that a fresh is the Indian version of the herbal tea, right? And I have actually mentioned in my previous, I've actually made quite a few videos talking about Herbalife product during pregnancy and postpartum. If you're breastfeeding, and I'll recommend to actually minimize a fresh because it is caffeinated, right? It's caffeinated tea. And I always tell everyone that during pregnancy, you can, if you can avoid caffeine altogether, would be great, or minimize, because it's not, if you consume small dosage of caffeine during pregnancy or postpartum, it's not dangerous, right? However, personally speaking, I prefer to just cut out caffeine altogether because I am actually allergic to caffeine. And I recommend people to be very safe, just minimize caffeine. So a fresh, just do very tiny if you have to, right? And just do a tiny bit of like dosage. Yeah. So your coach told you that yes, you can take it. You can take caffeine, but it's really about how much, right? So if you're taking a huge amount of caffeine, right, then that can actually kind of affect, your breast milk quality. Right. And if you're okay during pregnancy, right? During pregnancy, it has been recommended by, prenatal healthcare providers. And if you, search online, a lot of people have recommended to like really be mindful with how much caffeine that you're consuming, whether it's caffeine from tea or from coffee, right? So I would actually recommend you whatever dosage that you take. Normally you do two a fresh a day, cut back into half or less than half. Okay, so that's my recommendation. If I normally take one dosage of herbal tea, then like during pregnancy I might just cut it into like none or maybe less than half. That's my recommendation, right? Okay, so let's get into like what do you actually have to look out for, what kind of food is important for postpartum. Right now, postpartum, a lot of you are asking me, like, you might be asking me, how long is postpartum? Is postpartum the first few weeks after, you give birth? That's postpartum. There are a lot of different, definitions out there talking about what exactly is postpartum, how long is postpartum, right? And also, someone also said that once you're postpartum, you're always postpartum. Okay. But don't be scared or like worried by the concept of you're always postpartum. Well, it basically just means that your body is not the same. You're not the same person after you've given birth, right? Because you're a mother now. So you have to fuel your body. You have to nourish your body to support you as a mother. That's the way I see it. Right. So I'm also taking a certification in postnatal and prenatal coaching right now. So I'm really, really excited. Once I'm certified, I'll be able to help a lot more women out there who are going through pregnancy and also during postpartum. So I do want everyone to remember these three key things for postpartum nutrition. Okay, you need to eat foods that are actually supporting your recovery and healing. So we're talking about mostly physical recovery and physical healing, right? Okay, and foods that are nutrient dense. Okay, to me, this is like a no-brainer, right? Because I always promote, eating nutrition dense food. Okay, don't focus on like the taste and also calories. You have to focus on, how nutritious it is, how much nutrient the food provides, right? So nutrient dense. And number three is hydrating. You have to get lots and lots of liquid into your body, whether if it's from drinking water, different beverages, but also food, right? So, which is why I'm going to share with you guys in a moment why I take so much porridge and so much soup during my postpartum. Okay, so these three key things, note it down, whether if you want to tattoo it in your mind or write it down. Recovery and healing, nutrient dense, and hydrating. These are the three key things. Doesn't matter what culture you're from, what country, what tradition you're from. During your postpartum, you do need to focus on these three things. And that's something I think at least this is universal, right? This is really universal. Okay, so I know a lot of you are just like eager for me to jump straight into like what Herbalife products I took and like how did I use them. I've actually made videos talking about that, so you can check out my videos from hello from my prenatal care playlist, and I have two videos there. The first one is Herbalife Save during breastfeeding, so that video has a lot of information. You can go check it out. And the second one is Herbalife Safe During Pregnancy. I also talk a lot about nutrition and the product during in that video. But here I want to tell you guys that during my postpartum, I actually focus my postpartum. I'll just divide it into three stages. Okay, three stages. First stage is my first 40 days. So basically 6 weeks. Okay, that's my first stage of postpartum. And then the second stage of postpartum is basically after the 40 days when I'm breastfeeding, when my body's still recovering. Okay, I'll call it the second stage. The third stage is where I am at right now, where I'm basically rebuilding my strength and physical function. And also, right now, I'm not breastfeeding anymore. So I have stopped breastfeeding after month 6, right? So, Enzo got a good solid 6 months of mother's milk, and also a combination with formula. Now I've stopped and I'm very happy about that. And I just want to quickly mention when it comes to breastfeeding, it is really everyone's personal choice, right? And you don't have to actually judge yourself or attach the practice of breastfeeding with any kind of like moral judgments or anything, right? Just because you choose not to breastfeed or due to certain circumstances that you cannot breastfeed, it doesn't make you, less of a good mother, right? You're a great mother, you know that, and your baby know that, your family knows that, right? So it has nothing to do with your choice of breastfeeding or formula, right? So these are the three stages, and my nutrition does change, according to what stage of postpartum I am at, right? But I do want to tell you guys that in my first 6 weeks of postpartum, I'll say 80% of my nutrition was basically the Chinese postpartum meals. I'll share with you guys quickly in a second, right? And what they, encompassing. And a 20% will be my Herbalife supplements and also like shakes and things like that. Right. So 20%, supplementation and 80% Chinese meals. So this is kind of like, in the broad spectrum of what I did during my first 6 weeks. And in my first 6 weeks, I mainly focus on eating very warm things. So, like, just to quickly break it down for you guys, right? My breakfast, I still take my shakes, right? So, I actually focus on making my shakes warm instead of like doing cold, frozen berry blended stuff. No, no, no. Keep it warm. And like, doesn't matter what culture you're from, like, I actually recommend people. Especially if you're in your first like 40 days of postpartum, keep your body warm, and also everything you put into your body, keep it warm or at least room temperature. So because of that, I actually make warm shakes for myself in the morning. And but what I did was I was not only just taking the shakes, because during the first, the initial period of postpartum, your body does need a lot of nourishment, a lot of like, extra calories as well to help your body, form milk, right? To help you with the milk production. So I would actually have a cup of warm shake together with the Chinese porridge my mom will cook, right? So the porridge is not just a plain like rice porridge, but she will put a lot of other like nutritious ingredients in there. And I will also have eggs. I would normally have like 2 eggs, usually hard boiled. So this actually basically makes up my big breakfast, like really big breakfast every day. And yes, before I eat and drink everything, I will actually still have my glass of aloe, but I make my aloe very warm, right? But also, just like what I talked about earlier, to answer Avani's question, I cut out tea, right? So I was very strict in my first two phases of my postpartum. I actually cut out tea altogether, right? I'm just, I don't know, I just go cold turkey on tea. I just don't want any caffeine in my body, not for myself, not for my baby. So I would do a warm glass of aloe to cleanse my body because I love the routine. And so just 2 steps: warm aloe and then warm shake. But on top of the shake, I will have 2 hard-boiled eggs and the Chinese porridge my mom cooked. So this is actually my breakfast. And then lunch and dinner, I usually do warm food as well. But mostly they basically consist a lot of like soup, porridge, but of course, some solid food too, right? But there's always some kind of like liquid thing, present, because that's just how how much my body needed them, right? And especially someone that comes from like an Eastern Asian culture, like some kind of like soupy thing is really comfort food for the body, especially after big physical trauma. Okay. And not to mention, I also took a lot of snacks, but the snacks here are not referring to like chips and chocolates. I'm talking about like warm, nourishing dessert soups, right? I'm happy to share some with you guys. And of course, those of you who are my clients, you know that I put those recipes in the nutrition guide. When you purchase any nutrition programs for me, you can see how you can also make those nourishing health benefiting dessert soups yourself with the Herbalife products as well, right? So my snacks, I will have snacks like multiple times a day to really help my body with recovery and also milk production. And my mom will make things like, papaya soup and red date and snow fungus soup. I know some of you are like, what the what the hell are these things? They sound so foreign to me, but they're actually really nourishing. Goji berries, ginger, right? Black sesame paste. These are really amazing, nourishing like dessert soups. They're not just like dessert, that tastes good and sweet, but they're actually good for your body, especially for women. They actually fine tune your body internally, but when you're actually bring your body internally back to balance, it shows on the external. It shows on your skin. It shows on your how should I say, complexion, on your face as well, right? So this is the things I want to mention, and I'll just quickly go through. Apart from shake and aloe, what else I took from the Herbalife product range, right? Because I know a lot of you guys want me to go through that again. I also took multivitamin. Okay, so multivitamin is very important. In my first, how should I say, 1 month or 2 months, I still have my prenatal supplement, my prenatal multivitamin left. So my prenatal was actually prescribed by me from my naturopathic doctor. So I will continue with that until that was finished. Then I switch onto the back onto the Herbalife multivitamin because it has over 24 types of vitamins in there, and that can really help your body with the nutrition boost, especially as a new mom. We may not be able to eat everything to get all the nutrients. And also, not as a mom, I normally take multivitamin supplements anyway, right? So I basically have not stopped. Okay, so multivitamin is very important, especially if you're breastfeeding still and if you're still recovering. Even when you're not breastfeeding like me right now, I still take my multivitamin. And the next important thing is your omega-3, your Herbal Lifeline. Okay, I have not stopped this since the first day or even pre pregnancy days. So omega-3 is something that I've been continuously taking, even now, not breastfeeding as well. But it's extra, extra important during your pregnancy and the first, I'll say, yeah, like even first year of postpartum, especially when you're still breastfeeding. And there's one more thing I want to tell you guys. Okay, if you're lazy taking omega-3, one important thing that omega-3 can help you is to help you prevent stretch marks. I didn't know this. I didn't learn about this until after, because like I'm not trying to brag or anything, but I really don't have stretch marks after giving birth. And not only that, I was very diligently hydrating my belly every day with like lotion, aloe vera lotion, and cream, not cream, oil, right? Coconut oil or whatever nice oil you can find. I was very diligent hydrating, moisturizing my belly every day, but also I was taking like 6 of these every day. Like I'm not kidding you. I was taking that's actually safe dosage, right? Because I remember my doctor told me that you have to take extra fish oil, extra omega-3 during pregnancy. So I was very diligent, and also it's good for your baby's brain development too, right? But later on, I found that taking omega-3 fish oil is actually helping your skin retain the elasticity, right? So you have a lot of good elasticity in your skin, and so when your body is expanding, when your belly is expanding, it's not gonna stretch in a way that when once your body kind of like bounces back, it's gonna have a lot of like cracks and stretch marks, right? Because your skin has enough hydration, enough elasticity due to having good amount of fish oil, omega-3. Okay, so this is one important thing I want to share with you guys. I don't know if you will get to this part of the video. If you didn't, then you will miss out this benefit. If you do, let me know in a comment if it's something that's helpful. Okay. Now, I told you it's an information loaded video. One more thing I want to share. Okay, there's two more things that I took. I don't have the boxes here. One is collagen. Okay, so collagen every day, postpartum, even during pregnancy. Okay, not to mention what collagen can do. Gives you skin elasticity. It helps your skin whole body, but also collagen can help your bones and joints, right, which is super super important. Calcium, extra cal, that's something that I've been taking every day. I just finished this, so and I forgot I threw away the bottle. So these two things are super important. We're talking about postpartum, right? So collagen and extra calcium on top of everything I just mentioned here. So these are the key things. I know there's quite a lot of like other products you can take from the Herbalife line, yeah, the Herbalife product line, but I'll say these are the essentials. Like you don't really have to take everything. It really depends on what your body needs. But the products I've just mentioned here are in my opinion, are the essentials to really help me with my healthy and I'll say fast, recovery. Okay. But I don't want everyone to worry if you feel like your recovery is too slow or, if it's too fast or too slow, right? Everyone's recovery is different. And just be patient with yourself and be patient with your body. Okay. And there's one more thing I want to show you guys. It's not from Herbalife. It's actually evening primrose oil that my naturopathic doctor prescribed me. I actually took this during my last 3 weeks of pregnancy, which kind of helped me. It actually helped me kind of open up my cervix, right? But I don't want you guys to go ahead and take this. You do have to talk to your healthcare provider first, okay? If they don't recommend this, then don't take it. I was taking this because my healthcare provider actually recommended this and she actually prescribed me this particular one. Okay. So don't go ahead and buy random things because it can be, if you're not taking it under your doctor's instruction, it can be, I don't know, it can be risky. That's what I'm saying, right? So, and during my postpartum, I continued to take, EPO until it ran out, and it can actually help you. It can actually help with postpartum depression, actually. So it balances your hormones, and I could feel that it was really helping because during my first couple of weeks, I was not taking this. I wanted to just keep everything kind of simple, and I could actually feel a bit of baby blues kicking in. Then I remembered that my doctor told me, okay, you can take EPO in your postpartum, and I had a ton of these left. So I started taking it every day, and yeah, I start to feel a lot better. So this is just something I do want to mention: EPO, evening primrose oil. Okay, but don't go and just buy it randomly from the shelf. You do have to talk to your doctor first. Okay, okay, okay. All right. So what else have I not mentioned? Just for the breastfeeding moms, remember this: if you're stressed, it can affect your breast milk production. So try not to be too stressed and relax, right? And sometimes, the more we stress about not having enough milk, the more it doesn't come out, right? So to actually ensure that the breast milk flows, no stress, that's the first thing. And second thing is you do have to give your body a lot of hydration, right? So make sure that you are drinking always and you get your hydration from your food, from your shakes, from your porridge, your soup, right? And that was the reason why my mom forced me to drink a lot of soup, and I was happy to. Mhm. Um, Eat lots of milk inducing food. Okay. I will put that in the table if you guys want a copy of that. There's a whole list of which foods are milk inducing. And as I mentioned before, minimize your alcohol and your caffeine consumption. So these are the key things for postpartum. And yeah, so basically that's what, in terms of supplementation, that's what I ate. And also I talked earlier, in the video, how did I eat in the day? I basically kept everything warm. And also for my snacks, I had a lot of like Chinese dessert soups. So this basically summarizes my first 2 phases, my first 6 months, my first 6 weeks, and also my first 6 months of postpartum. And Now, because I'm not breastfeeding, so and then my body does not actually demand a lot of extra calories, I can actually feel that, okay, it's lighter. Yes, I have dropped weight, but also I can feel that my body doesn't demand as much, calorie and also nutrient as before. So I started to like eat a bit less, but less doesn't mean that I'm not eating the nutrition. It's still nutrient dense focus, but the quantity is less, right? And what else? And I have actually introduced more a little bit of raw and cold food into my diet. And also it really depends on the season, right? If it's like winter right now, like it's getting cold now, then my recommendation is not to drink too many like ice cold drinks and not to eat too much raw stuff, right? So like in my first 6 weeks, I basically strictly stuck to like cook and warm food and absolutely no cold drinks or raw things. So this is the main difference. Um, Now I know some of you guys have seen this table from the beginning of the video, and I just want to quickly show you guys um, before we wrap up today's video. What I ate or how my mom and I like program our first 40 days. Okay, how do we program our first 40 days? So this is something that's based on like thousands of years of like tradition, Chinese postpartum tradition, and of course with modern enhancement, modern modification. um Okay, mommy's gonna be done soon. See, this is raw and real. So, in the first 6 weeks, what should we be focusing on, right? So, if you guys want to know what kind of food that actually can accommodate and serve each week, you can actually write in the comments. Just write table. You want the table, right? I actually have everything typed up, right? Just for my own sake, but then I thought, it'd be great to share with everyone, right? It's completely free. You just gotta write in the comments, right? I want that table, and then I'm happy to share with you, right? Like what I eat, what meal examples and what food are really good for each phase. So the first 6 weeks of postpartum, okay, can everybody see here? Week 1, we're focusing on internal cleanse and also restoring your appetite. Yeah. So this is what we're focusing on. And okay, I'm not going to go into too many details. This video is going to be too long, but I just want to give you guys a glance of this. And week 2, we're focusing on replenishing blood and calcium. So we also change up our meals and nutrition according to what the body needs to replenish blood and calcium. And then week 3, we're focusing on improving lactation. Yes, not right off the bat, we're like focusing on lactation, but like after 2 weeks of restoring, okay, then we start to look at, okay, what kind of food that we can eat to help with the milk production. So week 3 is lactation improvement, and then week 4, okay, we restore and nourish the body even more, because now we start to like induce the lactation. Let's do more to nourish and restore the body so that the milk flow can be more easy. And number 5, I mean, week 5, okay, we're improving digestion and we are eating to prevent baby blues. Yeah. Well, everyone's different, right? For some of us, baby blues can kick in early. Like me, it kicked in early, right? So, yeah. So for some of us, it kicks in maybe a bit later, but I would say, the food that you can eat to prevent baby blues, you can actually move it up. You can start doing this earlier, right? And then week 6, last week, we're really focusing on restoring chi. Chi is the life force inside your body. You can see it as the internal energy, the energy flow in your body, right? And because when you go through childbirth, it is a very big physical and mental trauma, actually. Well, not trauma in the bad way. It depends on how you see it, but it is a big, um, injury. Some can actually even see it as a tear and injury in your body. So once the body has gone through such a big trauma, a big fight battle, right, a lot of your life force and internal energy is actually lost, right? So according to TCM, right, so during your postpartum, it is very important through your nutrition, right, through your nutrition to actually bring back the life force, right? So during this time, week 6, we actually have to really level up the nutrition and eat different things to really restore, your chi, and also, as I mentioned, and eat more food to actually internally fine tune and to rebalance everything. And this is also a good time for some women, right? When they do it right, they start to actually see that the weight is dropping, right? But again, as I mentioned in my previous video, right, weight loss should not be your focus in your, at least your first phase of your postpartum, because you really need to look at how to nourish your body for recovery and for healing. Okay, and when you do things right, this is actually what I believe too, and this is what a lot of people in the Chinese community believe, that if you do things right in your 6 weeks, in your first 6 weeks postpartum, especially how you eat, right, this can actually make or break your health. Like, I know it's that extreme, but if you do it right, then you will feel a lot healthier and better in many ways. After you feel like your body is recovered and healed. But if you don't fuel and nourish yourself right, and with a balanced food in the first 6 weeks, you can actually feel that you are going through postpartum symptoms forever, or in some people's cases they feel worse after they have given birth. So yeah, so that is why I feel that it's very important, because this is what I practice. This is what I practice. I do advocate it, but I know that it's not for everyone. But if you are interested in the Eastern way of doing nutrition and wellness therapy and wellness self-care, then this is something that I would recommend, based on like how we practice. And of course, I have a big table with all the information, so if you do want to see more details of what to eat to support each phase each week and the meal examples, let me know in the comment, right table. Okay, and I can email it to you. All right, so I know this is a very information loaded session, and those of you who have watched the entire thing, let me know if you're watching replay or if you're watching live. And I know that a lot of you guys might have a lot of questions for me too, right? So feel free to write your questions in the comment, and I will come back here. And I'm always here to check, see if I missed any comments or any questions like that, right? And thank you so much, guys, for being so patient and staying with me for the entire session. I know it is a lot of information. And yeah, if you guys would like to work with me directly, you know where to go, right? I have Body Confidence Club, and this is for women only, and where we work together on body, mind, and energy. And you will learn everything you want to know, you want to learn from me, based on my 8+ years of experience in health and wellness coaching. Okay, guys. Thank you so much. And you can definitely find out more about the Body Confidence Club coaching with me from the show notes, from the description. It's the first link right there. And of course, you can reach out to me directly on my Instagram at Authentic Energy. And if you prefer Facebook, it's Authentic Energy as well. Okay, guys. And I'll see you guys on Saturday. I'll be here again. Thank you so much for watching, and take care. Bye.